to Creeped Out with Kate, the pump cake edition. Get it? Pumpkin cake. I'm super pumped to make this cake. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I'm so sorry. In the last episode, I totally forgot to list the ingredients. So you guys just had to like go based off of what I told you during the video, which wasn't very descriptive. This time I promise I'll post the measurements and steps. This will be the first time I've successfully done both, but I'm gonna do it. Let's go ahead and get started making our pumpkin cake. You guys like my pumpkin dress? Look at these earrings. And she's holding a pumpkin. Okay, sorry, let's get started. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is put in our dry ingredients. This is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I don't know why I didn't use cake flour. I didn't think about it. You might wanna use cake flour. It doesn't necessarily call for it, but you know, do what you want. So I'm just gonna open this up and pour that on in. I learned with some of the last episodes that it's better to pre-measure things. That way I don't take like half an hour of your guys' time, like going like, ooh, you know? Okay, but I didn't pre-measure everything, so whatever, I digress. So next we're gonna put in the baking soda, and it calls for 1 teaspoon, which is this, and then baking powder. Oh, I forgot, I got baking soda. Remember, I didn't have it last time. I got it this time. And then baking powder, which is also 1 teaspoon. Perfect. And then we're gonna put in a couple of cracks of salt. It does call for a teaspoon of salt, but you guys know from the last video, I'm just gonna grind it in. I feel like that was probably a teaspoon's worth. If not, it's okay. So now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and do our spices. So this cake calls for pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie spice. But all that is a mixture of cinnamon, not vanilla, sorry, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and dump some in there until I feel comfortable. See? Dump, 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 dump. I'm gonna take the lid off because this is getting a little bit tedious. Okay, so that's how much nutmeg I put in there. That's how much ginger I put in there. Oh, sorry, I lied to you guys. The first one I put in there was cloves. This one's ginger or nutmeg. I don't know. I put a generous helping of nutmeg in there. And now we're gonna do our cinnamon, and I'm gonna put the most cinnamon. Cinnamon. Perfect. This is a spice cake after all, and so we want it to be full of spices. And we're gonna go ahead and put those away. So, funny story, I'm freaking out this morning and I'm like, oh no, I can't film, I don't have milk. So I come down here and check the recipe to see if I have enough milk, because I have like a really small amount. And I'm like, oh, milk, milk, milk. It doesn't have any milk. Because this is a pumpkin cake, it has puree pumpkin in it, which is pretty like wet or like moist. I'm sorry if you don't like that word, but we're literally baking, so but yeah, so that in addition to the other wet ingredients, kind of like, you know, makes it enough wetness, whatever. Cool. So now that we have this stuff in, I didn't prepare as well as I thought I did, so I need to grab some brown and some granulated sugar. Wow, I threw myself under the bus for no reason. I did prepare. It was right there. So we're just gonna take 1 cup, or a 1 cup measure, and we're gonna go ahead and pour in our brown sugar, which is 1 full cup. Now brown sugar, it packs down, so that's why it went so far over, because if you pat it in there, it turns into 1 cup. So we're just gonna throw that in. And then we're gonna do some granulated sugar as well. And this one only calls for half a cup. You could do all brown sugar if you want. I wouldn't recommend really doing all white sugar though. I don't know why, I just don't think it would come out the way it's supposed to. Plus the brown sugar helps it get like a beautiful, like dark kind of caramel color, which you kind of associate with a pumpkin or like spice cake. So anyways, so this is the 1 cup and I just filled it half full and in it goes. And I have a special treat for you guys today. I have my handy dandy assistant here to give me a hand. It's not a real person, it's just this tongue that I'm gonna use to stir my cake. I was thinking of that before I started filming. I was like, what am I gonna say to these people? And I was like, handy dandy assistant. All right. Beautiful. So now it's all stirred up. We have all of our dry ingredients in the bowl. So now we're gonna start adding our wet ingredients. And I'm gonna start with vanilla because I just eyeballed it and I was like, I'm gonna put some vanilla. So I'm gonna put, it calls for 2 teaspoons, but I'm not gonna measure it. I don't measure vanilla. So 1 teaspoon and probably 2 teaspoons. Now this recipe actually calls for 4 large eggs. So now we're gonna do that. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. I can't stop thinking about the spooky, creepy skeletons. I think it says send shivers down your spine. I don't know how the whole song goes, but like in my head while I'm doing this, I'm like, spooky, creepy skeletons. I'm like thinking that. All right, perfect. So we got eggs. Next we're gonna do pumpkin. Okay guys, so this cake that we're making, this pumpkin cake, calls for 2 bundt cakes. And so I made one this morning to kind of save time because it does take quite a while to cook. It takes like 30 to 40 minutes to cook on a 350-degree oven. So, but this morning I read the recipe. It called for a can of pumpkin. So I had this large can. Yeah, I know I accidentally opened it upside down, but whatever. And I was like, okay, 1 can. And I dumped the whole thing in before my common sense kicked in. And I was like, Kate, I bet it's 1 normal size can, like half this size. And it did. I went back and read the recipe and I was like, oh, it calls for 15 ounces. That helps. This is actually 29 ounces. And so unfortunately, it's not going to be perfect minus 1 ounce. But I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of this can in there because I had to scoop it out of the last cake. But perfect. All right, let me grab a spoon. All right, got a spoon to get the rest of the yummy pumpkin out. And I want to make sure that I get all of the pumpkin out of here because obviously I didn't measure the first one, and so there's probably a bit more in there than in here, but it's okay. Because if you think about it, they're going to be, or whoever eats the cake is going to be having probably both cakes. And so they'll be able to taste the pumpkin in the other one. Cool. So now that we have that in there, we're going to go ahead and add our oil. which I did not pre-measure this time because last time I pre-measured it and I spilled it twice, 2 times, oil everywhere. It was the worst. I was so sad. I don't have the Rona, guys. That was coughing because I'm talking in the morning. All right, so 1 cup of oil. All right. And now this next part is optional, but I was thinking, like when I was thinking about making this cake, ooh, it would be so good if I added some apples. You obviously don't have to. I don't even know if it's normal too, but I'm gonna add some apples. They're a little bit brown from the like oxygen because I cut them up last night. I sliced them and I diced them like scream, slice you, dice you. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour the rest of those in there. Come out. Help me out, assistant. Thanks. All right. Cool. So now that I have all of this, we're going to go ahead and mix it together. Oh my gosh. You guys don't know how good this smells right now. All right, as always, we're gonna grab our handy dandy spatula and wipe off the sides. All right. Thank you, spatula. All right. And here is the batter. It's so pretty. And it smells so freaking good, like fall as heck. All right. So, guys, this next step is crucial. If you don't follow any of the other steps, not streps. I started talking about corona and now I have diseases or sicknesses on my mind. All the other steps, please go ahead and follow this one because you'll be so sad and crying if you forget to. Because I've done that before. We don't have to talk about it. Spray your freaking pan. Spray it. Spray it good. All right. That's probably more than I needed, but I'm not taking any freaking risks. All right. So now we're gonna put our cake in the pan. My singing skills are so good, I should join a band. Oh no, I wasn't paying attention. I got some in the hole. That's what he said. All right. This bowl is kind of heavy. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's gonna have to be good eating up. Yeah, don't forget to water your pan. What's it called? Spray your pan with water, your bowl. That way when you have to clean it up later, it's not as difficult. All right, and I'm just gonna bang that down a bit to make sure it gets everywhere. Clean off the top a tiny bit. All right, and now let's pop it in the oven. Come with me, guys. Come with me now. Oh, come with me now. I'm gonna show you how. There you go. It's in there. And so now we're just gonna let that cook for 30 to 40 minutes. I checked mine after 20 minutes originally, and it was not done in the center. I went and did my makeup, which I feel like took about 10 minutes or so, and then it was done. So don't forget to check with a toothpick, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, I'm back. It's time for... I was gonna say the fun part, but the whole thing's fun, really. It's time for the frosting. All right. So for the frosting, I'm gonna do the cream cheese frosting that I do literally every time. And it starts off obviously with cream cheese. So this has been left out since this morning. So for a couple of hours or so that it can get soft and malleable and easy to stir or mix or whatever. All right, now that we have that done, oops, I had some cream cheese on my finger, but I got it off, don't worry. Now that we have this part done, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next part, which is unique to this recipe, or any pumpkin recipe, or any recipe where you want pumpkin frosting, I guess. So it's not very unique at all, but I'm gonna add some more pumpkin. And ooh, in there, please. Too bad my assistant can't help me more because I can't even get things in the container. That's how much pumpkin I added. Quite a bit, but I really like pumpkin. And I'm gonna put some of those same spices in there now. Cinnamon, cloves. Oh shoot, you guys saw that? This fell off. It's a good thing I wasn't being more generous with it, or else I would have to start over. Ginger and nutmeg. All right, and now the thing I actually did forget to bring over here is the powdered sugar. Let me grab that. And I'm back. All right, powdered sugar. We're just gonna pour it in until we feel like it will give us diabetes. Yeah. I can feel my blood sugar rising already. Nice. You guys might want to eat this cake with a shot of insulin, or better yet, maybe I'll just put some in there for you. And then last, I almost said the F word, but I'm trying to be a better woman. I'm trying to be a lady. I can't find my freaking vanilla. Oh, I put it away. I was cleaning up while I was waiting for the cake to bake. Let me grab it. Bam! Found it. Put some vanilla. Great. Now we're gonna mix it up. Oh, there's something hard in there. What the heck? Hold on, let me wash my hands and figure out what it is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, in real life, you guys should wash your hands longer than that, but this is a TV show or a YouTube show or whatever. What the heck is this? Oh my gosh! It's a finger! Where the heck did that come from? I don't know if we should still eat this. Let me check. Yeah, we're still gonna eat it. Mixing it up, mixing it up. All right. And now, guys, this is a pumpkin cake, so we need the frosting to be orange. So we have to use some food coloring. I have this orange food coloring, which I'm probably gonna supplement and mix with some red and yellow just to get the color I want. But first, just the orange. And I put in quite a bit because I want it to be as orange as a real pumpkin, like this. hope this is gonna be enough frosting for the whole cake. Where did I put that spatula? Got a different one. Wipe off the sides. Oh no, we got some on the counter. Get off the counter. Don't worry guys, I disinfected the counter with bleach. It's okay. This is not orange enough for me. It's pretty orange, but it's not what I'm looking for. So I am gonna go ahead and take just some normal red and yellow food coloring. They look like little gnomes. Did you guys ever think of that? These look like tiny little garden gnomes. And I'm gonna put some yellow. And some red. And mix it back up and see how that makes me feel. It doesn't make me feel good at all. Let me put some lots of red. We're almost there, guys. More yellow. Well, I think this might be as orange as it's gonna get, so we're gonna stop here. Let me go ahead and grab the cake and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I had the cake out of the oven. It came out pretty nicely. I just got it actually out of the freezer so that it had plenty of time to cool down. And so now we're gonna go ahead and begin to assemble our cake. All right. So first thing I did was I just took a regular old knife and I used it to cut the top off the cake. Let me grab a plate. This is clean. And we're just gonna take this part off. All right, and that's the inside. Really like bouncy and spongy. It's so pretty. I took this part off so that the top of the cake would sit nicely in here as opposed to two rounded tops trying to sit on top of each other. This is the first time I made this cake. That's just what made the most sense in my mind, but we'll see right now if it works or not. All right, so first thing you want to do is try to get the points, like right here and here, lined up with the ones on here. So, let's see. This is about right. Oh no! It's okay. We're gonna cover it with frosting, so it's fine. Push it together. It'll be just fine. All right, and they're pretty well lined up. You guys know what? I actually just forgot something. We needed to put a little bit of frosting in the middle, and so I'm gonna be extra evil Knievel or risky or whatever and try and put the cake back. That did not work out. Okay, perfect. All right, and now we're just gonna take a little bit and just put it in the middle kind of to act as like a glue. Plus, once we cut into the cake, it will make it really pretty in the middle. right. I'm actually not too upset with this orange. So we just did the inside. And now let's go ahead and try and flip this broken cake again. Wish me luck, guys. Let's see here. Okay. It's okay, don't freak out. Nobody's perfect. You live and you learn it. Alright. That's pretty well lined up. Line up that side. And then we're just going to add our missing chunk. Alright. And it's still going to come out beautifully. Just like I did from my mom. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and frost it. Well, this is taking a long time. So that's that. We went ahead and decorated it to the best of our ability. We are not a professional cake baker decorator. So I just put some little cute Halloween sprinkles on the edge to kind of make it look cuter. And now we're gonna do the finishing step. You might want to have gloves for this. Mine have a little bit of Rice Krispies already on them, but that's cool. So we're gonna go ahead and put gloves on. And our final step is gonna be doing the stem, because it'd be awkward for a pumpkin to not have a stem. Supposedly I want to be a doctor, but I can't even put gloves on, which is one of the most important parts. Okay, guys. Oh. 'Tis backwards. All right, I'm changing careers. I quit school right now. Anyways, sorry. Thanks for being with me through the struggle. So we have some Rice Krispie. You might want to put it in the microwave for maybe like 5 seconds or so, just to get it a little bit more pliable. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a toothpick, and we want to color this, the color of a pumpkin stem, So got my bag of toothpicks, and I'm gonna start out with some green and just put it actually on my hands. I think that will be the best strategy. And we want to try and make this thing green. I think I might use some water. I know that's weird, but I feel like it will help the color spread. And you're just, I guess, kind of try and like knead the color around. Might need a little bit more. It'd be easier, of course, if you made your own Rice Krispie treats and just put the green in with the marshmallow, but I didn't do that. All right, so I'm comfortable with this color, and now you're just gonna mold it into a stem. So first thing I'm gonna do is kind of roll it into a ball or into a cylinder. If it would stay together, that'd be awesome. And I want the bottom to be bigger and the top to be smaller. Starting to take shape. All right. I think that looks pretty stem-like, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop it on. I'm gonna stuff the hole with cake first so that it stays in. This is just leftover scraps from when I cut the middle out of the cake. Just fill that hole that way. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pop that on. Nice. Good enough. This doesn't look amazing. But it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, I guess. Definitely not the best thing I've ever seen either. But it is what it is. Here's my pumpkin cake. I hope you guys like it. If you don't, shove it. Alright, here's a slice. Alright guys, well, thanks for hanging out with me today. Special thank you to my assistant for lending such a hand. Okay, well, Kate out. Bye.